Our first stop at the island of Isabella was at the town of Villamil on the southern shore. The town is named after the first governor of the Galapagos Islands, General Jose Villamil. All the tourist literature says that wildlife in the Galapagos Islands is not afraid of humans. A sea lion cleaning itself on a moored motorboat was our first evidence of how unafraid animals were. Then we saw the marine iguanas, one perched at the edge of a dock, one sunbathing on a sidewalk by the main street. A male marine iguana has long spines on its head and running down its back and tail. The spines reminded me of a dragon. The zipped look to the lips reminded me of Frankenstein. Off to our left was a small sandy beach. Here we observed more sea lions and iguanas that were unconcerned by our presence. We boarded this open-air bus for a short ride to Flamingo Lake. Here I enjoyed close-up views of greater flamingos and other birds. Our next stop was at a centre for breeding giant tortoises. Here a technician explained the steps in the breeding program to us. It is important that a tortoise egg is kept in the same orientation as it was found, so a mark is placed on the egg, and they showed us the different stages of development. Very young tortoises are kept in these mesh-top pens. Older youngsters and the adults that are being kept as breeding stock are in open pens. One of the reasons for this careful breeding program is that the eggs of the tortoises and the juvenile tortoises are very vulnerable to being killed and eaten by rats and cats, and there's just too many rats and cats to eradicate them from most of the islands now. So the young tortoises are kept at these centres for about 5 years, and then they're released out into the natural environment. By that point, the tortoise can usually protect itself by hiding inside its shell. Galapagos tortoises come in two distinct carapace shapes, the domed shell and the saddle-backed. Most of the remaining 10 subspecies found on the islands are the dome-shelled variety. These dome-shelled have a shorter neck and shorter legs, and they're usually found in the more humid habitats. From the Tortoise Breeding Center, we walked along a trail to the beach. This trail went by several brackish lagoons and through vegetation typical of the dry zone. The water in the lagoons had a very distinct reddish tinge, but it was clear. Here in the lagoons we watched marine iguanas swim, their broad tails swishing side to side, which moved them with surprising speed through the water. Away from the brackish lagoons, the lava rock was visible between the vegetation. Besides finches feeding among stands of cacti, we saw lava lizards and a colourful locust. Female lava lizards have a red throat. Our group split up. Some of us set our binoculars and cameras on the rocks and went swimming. The beach sloped gently into the water temperature was refreshing, and letting the waves wash over you was fun. After drying off, we walked into town. Came across the local church, Iglesia Cristo Salvador, and here inside it was pleasantly cool, and the animal themes of the day were continued. The wall behind the altar is painted floor to ceiling to show Christ over the local beach. Birds, iguanas and crabs are realistically drawn. Our group gradually reconvened at an open-air cafe by the beach. Here the proprietress cut the top off a coconut, poured in some worm, and voila, a refreshing drink.